True love story. Robert stirred his coffee in the quiet kitchen, sunlight spilling across the wooden floor. Margaret moved around the small garden outside, pruning the roses that had bloomed overnight. The morning air carried the scent of earth and flowers, and he watched her from the window, smiling at the ease of her movements. Decades had passed since they first met, yet her presence still brought a calm warmth he couldn't describe. He joined her outside, carrying a small tray with fresh coffee and biscuits. She turned surprised, and her eyes crinkled with a familiar joy. They sat together on the worn wooden bench near the hydrangeas, the soft hum of birds in the background. Hands occasionally brushed over the tray, lingering a moment longer than necessary, a quiet ritual of togetherness. As the day grew warmer, they walked slowly down the gravel path toward the lake. The trees whispered in the gentle wind, leaves rustling like distant laughter. Robert offered his arm, and Margaret accepted, leaning on him slightly. The sun reflected off the water in gentle glimmers, painting everything in shades of gold and amber. He noticed the fine lines around her eyes, the silver strands in her hair, and felt a rush of memories. Summer picnics, long drives, quiet nights reading side by side. They reached their favorite wooden dock, and sat with feet dangling just above the water. Margaret traced her fingers along the grooves in the wood, while Robert skipped small stones, watching the ripples spread across the lake. For a moment the world felt suspended, only the two of them, bound by years of laughter, care, and shared silence. Returning home, they prepared a simple lunch together. The kitchen smelled of fresh bread and roasted vegetables. Robert chopped while Margaret stirred. Their movements synced without thought, a testament to years spent side by side. There was comfort in these ordinary tasks, in the way they anticipated each other's actions without speaking. After lunch, they settled in the living room, sun streaming through lace curtains. Margaret picked up an old photo album, turning the pages slowly. Photographs of children, grandchildren, and friends filled the pages, snapshots of decades lived fully. Robert leaned in, his hand brushing hers over the corner of the album. Each smile in the photographs carried a story, each wrinkle a testament to time. Yet their love remained constant, patient, and unwavering. As afternoon waned, they stepped outside once more to water the garden. The roses and hydrangeas glistened under a soft golden hue, petals damp with the last droplets of their care. Margaret paused, resting her hand on Robert's shoulder, and he felt the warmth of her touch resonate deep in his chest. Time seemed to slow, the quiet beauty of shared routine and gentle care forming a tapestry of life together. Evening approached, painting the sky with hues of pink, orange, and violet. They moved to the porch with 2 cups of tea, watching the sun dip below the horizon. The world softened, shadows stretching, and they sipped quietly, hearts aligned in silent appreciation. Memories of first dates, long walks, and tender moments across decades mingled with the present, unspoken yet deeply felt. As night fell, stars began to sprinkle across the darkening sky. Robert and Margaret retired inside, the gentle glow of lamps filling the rooms with warmth. Sitting together in the living room, they read quietly, occasionally glancing at each other, sharing smiles that spoke volumes. The home was filled with quiet contentment, the unspoken words of devotion lingering in the air. Before sleep, they stood at the window one last time, looking at the moon reflecting on the lake. Margaret rested her head on Robert's shoulder, and he wrapped an arm around her gently. The years behind them and the days ahead seemed unimportant. What mattered was this steady, enduring love, the simple joy of being together. In the stillness, they knew that every moment of shared life, every quiet ritual, every tender glance, was a story of love that had grown richer with time. And as the house settled into the calm of night, Robert and Margaret drifted to sleep, hearts intertwined, dreams filled with the gentle glow of a lifetime spent together. A love that had endured, matured, and flourished, as timeless as the sunset they so often watched hand in hand.